Good morning. You're welcome to ABC in the Morning, live on ABC News GH. We are glad that this morning too you have joined us here on ABC News GH. I am Abna Mate, and I'm glad to come your way this morning. ABC in the Morning has a wide variety of conversations for you, and they are conversations that will keep you informed, keep you entertained, and keep you wanting more. On ABC in the Morning, we don't only look at political issues. We are looking at everything that concerns us as a people that will make our day complete. The show is packed, the stories are riveting, and the discussions will be engaging. Stay with us. We will look carefully at the issues that have taken over the airwaves. But before we get into the topics for today, Kofi Annan, again, the 7th Secretary General of the United Nations, said that knowledge is power, information is liberating, education is the premise of progress in every society and in every family. Knowledge is power, information is liberating, education is the premise of progress in every society, in every family. You are as good as the knowledge you possess. You are as good as the information you have. So as a person, it's very, very important that on your daily walk, every day of your life, you continue to gather the knowledge that you would need, all the knowledge that is available. Do not restrict yourself to certain things that you only deem important, but every knowledge that is available, cram it into your head, because it will come in handy for you one day. Knowledge indeed is power, and information is liberated. When you have information, you're a liberated person. Nobody can trample on your rights when you know what your rights are, when you know what you deserve as a person, when you know that you can do A, you can do C, you can do D, you can do F, you can do G. Information is indeed liberating, and education is the premise in every society. We build ourselves from the education that we have. So do not take your education for granted. Continue to immerse yourself into the education you have, and you become a better person for your family and for the society in general. We are glad to bring you ABC in the Morning. Stay with us. We'll be back. You're still watching ABC in the Morning, and like I said, the conversation is going to be very engaging. You want to be a part of this. We're streaming live on YouTube at ABC News GH, live on YouTube, ABC News GH. Interact with us via our social media at ABC News GH _ at ABC News GH _ to send in your birthday wishes, to send in your request. Text us on WhatsApp 05099303600, 05099303600. Today on ABC in the Morning, we'll be taking a look at our front story, our very first conversation for the day. And on our front story, the court has ordered EC to reverse 580 illegal voter transfer. The court has ordered the Electoral Commission to reverse some 580 illegal voters transfer. And we will be looking at that. Front Story is up next. On Front Story, we are taking a look at the Electoral Commission. We are gearing up towards the 2024 elections, and in the gearing up to the elections, we've seen so many conversations. We've had conversations on the Electoral Commission, on the voters register in particular, and many political parties and candidates have raised concerns about the voters register, calling for forensic audits, independent forensic audits into the voters register. Let's take a look at the Electoral Commission. So in Ashanti region, officials of the Electoral Commission have begun taking steps to reverse some 580 voters back to their constituencies or back to their polling stations. The names have been found in the Menchia South voter register, and the court has ordered that the EC reverse the names back to where they were before the names were found in the Menchia South voters register. It comes after NPP, the governing New Patriotic Party in the Menchia South constituency, identified some infractions in the voter register during the voter transfer exercise. And because they identified these infractions, they headed to court to seek interpretation. They followed all of the processes that you need to go through for issues like this, and they headed to court. So the Kumasi Magistrates Court, which is presided over by Her Worship Deborah Jawa Donko, delivered a verdict on the matter on Tuesday. And in delivering her verdict on Tuesday, she ordered the Electoral Commission to reverse the affected voters to the original constituencies. The NPP saw that there were infractions in the Menchia South voters register, went to court, and now court says that take the persons whose names are now found in the Menchia South voter register back to their original constituency. On the same issue of voters register, Lantre Manteng, who is the leader of the Movement for Change and Alliance for Revolutionary Change, has backed calls for the Electoral Commission to conduct a forensic audit on the voters register. Lantre Manteng says that he's emphasizing the need for high-level technical working group, which should be chaired by the Electoral Commission, to oversee this process from September 30 to October 11. Nana Ohenento, who is also the Director of Elections, Planning and Coordination for the Movement for Change, in a letter to the EC on Lantre Manteng's behalf, and the letter was dated on 23rd September, noted that the establishment of a high-level technical working group, which will be chaired by the EC with representatives of candidates cleared to contest the general election, and the consultants responsible for the Electoral Commission's data management, should look at it. Have raised concerns about the voters register, and they have asked and called for a forensic audit. Leading this charge has been the National Democratic Congress, who staged a demonstration on 23rd September, said that they needed a forensic audit because they had seen certain discrepancies in the voters register. The EC's response was that the NDC was yet to present any evidence to the Electoral Commission, and the EC also said that they, the Electoral Commission, were capable enough of conducting an audit on the register. Following that, so many conversations have come up about forensic audits and about how to go about it, with Kodeo speaking about all of the developments. Kodeo mentioned that the NDC should come for an IPAC meeting where it will sit with all stakeholders to discuss this issue and then reach a conclusion that will be okay or that will satisfy all stakeholders. With this recent development coming from the Menchia South constituency, we would like to look into this conversation better so that you, our viewers, can also understand what is happening ahead of the elections. Joining us via Zoom is the Executive Director of Care for Free and Fair Elections, Care Ghana. He is David Kumiado, and he's joining us for a conversation and the call for an independent audit of the voter register. Good morning, David. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, David. With this recent development coming from the Menchia South constituency, with the court ordering the Electoral Commission to reverse persons who are eligible to vote back to their constituencies, do you think it necessitates the need for an independent forensic audit into the voters register?
Well, thank you. Good morning to yourself. Good morning to your cherished viewers. The Electoral Commission thinks these allegations and has confirmed some of the allegations that have been made, especially the one that is coming from the Tamale South. The Electoral Commission confirmed that yes, indeed, an illegal transfer has been done, and the officer in question has been punished and is being investigated, to be punished. The one also coming from Menchia South also gives some evidence that there is something wrong with our register, which requires that the Electoral Commission will sit down to look at it, especially when the NDC and Asanto are now speaking about the issues with the register. So, yes, I think that it's very important for the Electoral Commission to sit down with the key stakeholders, i.e., political parties, civil society organizations, and some individuals with expertise in IT to look at the system itself, how a transfer was done at a district without the knowledge and the tacit approval and the consent of the individual. How was it able, how were these individuals able to do this? All these things requires that some sort of audit must be done so that at least maybe everybody will be satisfied in a sense that it is only these, the ones that have been noticed, that have the challenge, or there are more to what we are being told, basically.
Well, the Electoral Commission has said that they are capable enough of conducting their own forensic audits. They are capable of conducting an audit of the voters register. With all of these discrepancies that have come up, don't you believe that now they are aware of certain issues within the register and also within the organization, that if we left it to them, they alone can look at it well and set their house in order even before we look at bringing in an independent forensic auditor?
Well, throughout this, the Electoral Commission has told us that their system is robust the register is robust. There is nothing wrong with the register. Even the Electoral Commission's first reaction to the allegation that was made or was leveled against them by the NDC was that it was not true. So when it comes like this, it becomes very difficult for the contending parties to have trust and confidence in the ability of the Electoral Commission to do that work. That is why perhaps they are calling for an independent arbiter or people who have experience, people who are well vested in work to also come in the presence of the Electoral Commission, in the presence of all parties, in the presence of PSOs, and then other key stakeholders. So yes, perhaps the Electoral Commission will be able to do it. But the name of the game, this game, election or maybe democracy, is trust and confidence. When there is no trust, even when you have done a good job, there still will be some doubts and some mistrust in the work you are doing. And when you take the Afrobarometer of the last report for the Afrobarometer that CBD conducted, it says that about 78% of the Ghanaian people have lost trust in the Electoral Commission. This alone tells that even if the Electoral Commission does it by itself, they believe that it will do it well to the satisfaction of the concluding parties will not go down well.
Okay, but looking at the CI 127 and the framework provided for discrepancies in the voters register, do you think that the CI satisfies the whole framework and then the environment for seeking redress about issues in the voters register?
You see, laws are made by men. Laws are made by men. And at times, we will have to look at the law and do what's right. Now, the CI says that the Electoral Commission should be given a certain number of days to rectify the challenges and the problems. Yes, but where we stand now, it becomes a very big challenge if you leave the Electoral Commission. Now, when you listen to the members from the Apapanto family, they are also calling for an independent arbiter, as well as the NDC are doing. And for me, I think that if an independent arbiter comes in, that is supervised by the Electoral Commission, as the people from Apapanto are saying, and then the NDC is there, have their technical guys who have the expertise in this regard, all other political parties, independent candidates, everybody.
Hello, David.
Is there. And then those who are willing to resolve the matter, it will help what we are trying to do or what we seek.
Hello, David.
What we seek to have. Because it will be better for us to do this than to have chaos and confusion in the election. You get that? So it is very, very important for the Electoral Commission to allow, supervised by the Commission itself, in the presence of all key stakeholders, political parties, political organizations, and those with expertise. But when these are done, and there are no challenges with the register, the credibility of the Electoral Commission is deepened, and then it is increased. So when the Electoral Commission comes out with the final outcome of the elections, nobody will have doubt. People will call the NDC or any other person or political party that is making noise that, hey, please shut down. You called for a forensic audit. You were given. Everybody realized that the register was credible. There was nothing wrong with it. Or everything that you called for was corrected. So this time around, allow peace to prevail and let us move ahead with our democracy in peace. But if it is not done, then people are going to make reference to the Electoral Commission's inability to allow for a forensic audit by independent arbiters then that will give a credence to some of the allegations and some of the things that people are going to talk about, which we don't want, because the Constitution gives the Electoral Commission that power, okay, to call the final result or the final outcome of the elections, which is very, 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 very important. So for me, if we allow the Electoral Commission leading independent advocates for a forensic audit to be done in front of all key stakeholders, I am sure that the trust and confidence that we must have in the Electoral Commission will increase, and that will be good for our democracy.
Finally, before you go, David, from where you stand, do you think the various political parties have exhausted the avenues for resolution as specified by CI 91?
Well, I would say that, first of all, when the NDC saw these discrepancies, the omissions, the illegal transfers, and they raised attention, they called the Electoral Commission's attention to what they have found. And the Electoral Commission gave them audience and a listening ear. Then again, the NDC said that they want to bring the general public into this matter, so that at least we, those who have been given the right and responsibility by the Constitution to determine who becomes the president, who becomes our MP, we are brought into this matter. The Electoral Commission declined. And I thought that the Electoral Commission in this particular decision lost the opportunity to bring the general public into this matter. Because you see, when it comes to this stage, the Electoral Commission needs public support. Because already you are being accused of doing something that you have said that it is not true. So allowing public participation, allowing public participation in accountability would have been a fine opportunity for the Electoral Commission. So for me, yes, the NDC has met the Electoral Commission, laid before them the challenges they have found in the provisional voters register. Recently, the NDC called on CSOs, the clergy, the media, the traditional authorities, and all other, let me say, the conscience of society, and presented to us what they presented to the Electoral Commission. Okay, and gave us evidence of what they are talking about: the omissions, the illegal transfers, the illegal registrations, and all that. So, for me, between the NDC and the Electoral Commission, the NDC has brought the general public into the fray and allowed us to ascertain or seen the evidence of the allegations they are laying against the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission hasn't given us the opportunity, together with NDC, to also see or maybe call us to present to us their case. So now it looks as if the issue has been tilted towards one side, and we have not been able to hear from the Electoral Commission. So if you ask that, if all the avenues the CI has given in terms of resolving such matters, I think that I would say yes, because the last time when the NDC, together with some other civil society organizations, had the demonstration, they gave or they presented a petition to the Electoral Commission, and the Electoral Commission received the petition. Okay, so something has been done, awaiting what the Electoral Commission will also do. A petition was also presented to Parliament to come into the matter. So I think that, yes, if you ask me, the issues or the opportunities laid by the TI has been exhausted. That we are waiting the Electoral Commission to also come up with what it also wants to do with these particular things so that at least we will know the way forward. Other than that, I think that the support for a forensic audit will not hurt our register, will not hurt our democracy, will not hurt our elections in any way. And I'm not sure it will hurt the credibility of the Electoral Commission as well, unless the Electoral Commission comes to tell us how it is going to hurt our democracy, our constitution, our elections. And then we will also take it from there.
Thank you for joining us, David.
Thank you for having me.
David Kumi-Addo is the Executive Director for CARE Ghana. CARE, Executive Director for CARE for Free Elections, CARE Ghana. He joined us on this conversation on the voters register and all of the matters arising. You recall that in Pusiga, 38 voters were transferred to Pusiga in the Upper East region from some two constituencies in the northern regions, the Tamale South constituency and the Saneriga constituency in the northern region. 38 persons were transferred without their consent from northern region all the way to the Upper East region. And development yesterday is that some 588 persons have been captured in the Menchia South register in the Ashanti region, which is not the original constituency. So the NPP in the Ashanti region, in the Menchia South constituency, took this up all the way to court, and court ordered that the EC transfer these voters back to their original constituency. These are some of the conversations and developments surrounding the voters register as we gear into the 2024 elections. The NDC have called for an independent forensic audit. The Movement for Change, led by Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen, has also called for an independent audit into the register. As the days go by, we'll hear more developments on this to see where this will end before we get into the election. This is all for Front Stories. Trends is up next. Stay with us.
Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH _. Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH_.
You're still watching ABC in the morning. We are going straight into trends, but before that, let's take a look at what is also trending on the various news portals. Let me start with our own ABC News GH. On ABC News GH, the ECG MD Samuel Dubek Mahama resigns after 2 years in office. Nana Kwame Bediako will break NPP and DC duopoly, the regional coordinator of New Force Movement says, and Eddie Akong says that exorbitant port charges are crippling businesses. And ECG is set to undertake a 3-day maintenance work on Clue repayment server. Let's look at My Joy Online, see what is trending there too on My Joy Online. On the My Joy Online homepage, 11 more Democracy Hub protesters remanded and set to reappear tomorrow. I want my 2 children to benefit from free SHS. And this is from the Edubiase Hene. And TUSAG declares nationwide strike effective September 27. Effective tomorrow, TUSAG declares nationwide strike. So many stories on the various portals, and we will take a look at them all when we get the time. Godwin is on for sports and trends, and let's get right into that. Hello, Godwin.
Hello, Abena.
Godwin, what is trending today?
Yeah, good morning to our followers and viewers, and we are bringing everyone the latest trending on social media, particularly X, and also we will give updates on sports, what is trending in sports and the latest they need to know in sports. So today what is trending is, just like you mentioned, the ECG Managing Director, Samuel Dubek Mahama, has resigned, and also Malik Basintale is trending. Cheddar Nana Saribedi Akun, the leader of the New Force, is also trending, and also Katanga, the Yellow Fellows of KNUST, they are also trending. So these and many more are coming in the trend session. So let's get straight into it. So first of all, the reason why Samuel Dubek Mahama is trending, he is Managing Director for Electricity Company of Ghana. He is trending because he has resigned from his post. The news broke out yesterday evening, and several news channels and individuals have been tweeting about it. So Daily Graphic Online is saying the ECG boss, Samuel Dubek Mahama, cited personal reasons for the resignation and thanked the board for the working relationship. Graphic Online, however, gathers that Mahama has been facing some challenges with the board and the staff on how he had wanted to run ECG. So they are basically saying, although he is saying it is personal reasons, they are gathering that he's facing some challenges with the working relationships at the office and how he wants to run the office. And that is the end of trends for Samuel Dubek Mahama, because everything is basically about his resignation. The next one is Katanga Fellowwood, Katanga from KNUST. They are trending because they have joined the cause for the Stop Galamsey Now. They are saying, we are so proud to set the stage running to demonstrate to safeguard our future. It is a tough call, and it is so sad and disheartening to have 6-member executive of our global alumni warning to stop over 50,000 Katanga alumni from protesting. Ghana is bigger than their political colors. Let's save Ghana. Say no to Galamsey, free the citizens. So basically some of their leaders are trying to stop them from embarking on a nationwide demonstration. They are mobilizing to bus their people to Accra to demonstrate against the Galamsey that is going on. And some leaders of their fraternity are saying they shouldn't embark on this course. And in the comment section, Thor Crash GH is saying, we still have people doubting your legitimacy, but I believe in a good cause, legitimate or not. There is always a chance to make a difference. Time is now to fight for our future. Keep up the good work. Accountability hashtag. And also, Kwame Agboke is saying, Ghana is bigger. The youths are the ones to make it better. I think after this, we the youth who mean well for this country must come together and begin processes towards constitutional amendment. We can then follow that with perhaps a national development plan. And the last person here is Alex Kwachi. He is saying, fellows are decent people. I don't see them as scammers or criminals who want to take advantage of a national crisis to enrich themselves. I have contributed. I'm proud to be an old fellow. And that is that for Katanga trending. And we also have Cheddar trending. The reason why Cheddar is trending is Cheddar actually commented previously when the Democracy Hub organized the Occupy Julobi House. There is a video that he endorsed the demo. And yesterday, Cheddar came again to post a video saying he does not support what the citizens are using as means to going on in governance. Let's take a look at what he posted yesterday, and we'll be back with what people are saying on X.
Well, first of all, let me use this to correct the situation right now about my last video that I issued about not supporting violence. And I still stand on that, and I mean that. Now, why don't I support the youth for protesting? It's because I want peace in the country. If the youth of this country and the people of this nation have held it down for 32 years to 40 years of understanding politics and whatever encumbrances, crisis, issues that it brings, and they've managed to survive, then why would they want to use violence now to send a message and say that they've had enough? Well, let me tell you people something that you might not know. All of these protests and demonstrations that has happened in this country in the past year or two were organized by one of the duopoly. It's the same politicians, and I said it. I'm not going to mention names, but you know that Jolobi and Fix the Country was fixed by one of the existing parties. We cannot do this to ourselves and destroy our own country because of a politician's personal interest or a party's interest. Please, Ghana, do your research. The people in front of all these demonstrations, some of them have treason charges. Ask, find out who sponsored them for the mobilizations and all the things that happen. Do your research. This is not about Galamsey. This is about a political interest.
That was Cheddar calling for peace and speaking against the demonstrations and the means that citizens are using to get the government accountable. And we have Elias saying, this was Cheddar last year, September 2022, endorsing hashtag Occupy Jolobi House. Today he says, watch the video attached and listen to what he said. Man has taken the bag. And he attached a video that Cheddar previously endorsed the Occupy Jolobi House. So that is why Cheddar has been in the trends, because of the video that he posted yesterday. And the last trend that we have is Malik Basintali. He is Deputy NDC National Communications Director. He actually posted an image, and it is a receipt of the National Cathedral Managing Director or CEO, the Executive Secretary of the National Cathedral Construction. And Malik is saying, pay slip of one of the leaders of the Cathedral. He is being paid for being the CEO of the world's most expensive hole. Dr. Yao Opoku Mensah. Innocent protesters are being arrested and remanded, and there are more stuffs that he has posted in conjunction with these receipts that he's posting. And we have the Datanomics here saying Dr. Paul Yao Opoku Mensah, the Executive Secretary of the National Cathedral Pit, receives over 20,000 Ghana cedis monthly remuneration. He is paid from funds of the Office of Government Machinery for overseeing the suspended National Cathedral project. Credit Malik Basintali. And he posted an image of the Secretary and also the National Cathedral Pit. And that is the end of trends for today. Now let's move straight into the world of sports and look at what we have in sports. Where the National Sports Authority Board Chairman Seth Panyum says the Accra Sports Stadium and Cape Coast Stadium are fully prepared to host international matches, pending final inspection by CAF. Panyum urged Ghanaians to ignore recent reports suggesting that the Black Stars will play their upcoming home match against Sudan in Togo or Ivory Coast. Ghana is set to face Sudan on October 7th in a crucial 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier. Let's look at what the man said.
CAF indeed wrote to us when they were banning the Kumasi Sports Stadium that we should nominate an alternative venue, by which time they earlier on, based on the earlier inspections, has ruled out Cape Coast, has ruled out Tamale, has ruled out Accra as possible venues for our games. So in their records, we only had Kumasi. So once they have banned Kumasi, they suggested that we should profess an alternative. And that was when I began hearing the video that, oh, we may either go to Abidjan or we'll go to Togo and play. As we said, we've written to CAF that, oh, you knew about Kumasi, but you didn't come back to look at Cape Coast. You didn't come back to look at Accra Sports Stadium. You didn't come back to look at University of Ghana Sports Stadium. You didn't come back to look at Tamale Sports Stadium. So we are putting to you that we have alternative pitches in Ghana which are ready. The last time you came and inspected, you said that we needed to fix A, B, C, D. We have done that. Cape Coast is ready, Accra is ready. Send your men to come and have a look at it. This is where we are as of now. So we are waiting for them to come, and I can assure you that if they come, the game will be played in Ghana. CAF indeed wrote to us when they were banned.
National Sports Authority set Panyum, assuring Ghanaians that our qualifiers would be played either at the Accra Sports Stadium or Cape Coast Sports Stadium. Still on the Black Stars, former Black Stars captain Stephen Appiah has joined calls for home-based players to be given the chance to play in the Black Stars. He believes these players are capable of competing with foreign-based players when given the necessary confidence to showcase their talent. This follows former Ghanaian international Emmanuel Agyeman-Badu, who made a similar call for the inclusion of local players in the Black Stars squad.
We have to give the local players, we have to give them the chance, the confidence to play for the national team. So in our time, maybe there are certain players that looks as if they are key players in the team. We were not key players. We have players like William Clero and the rest who were pushing us, so we have to make sure that we are not going to allow them to take our positions. For example, when we went to the World Cup 2006, Osepupo was a top defender. After the game against Germany, after the game against Italy, the second game against Czech Republic, it was Sheila Alias who was playing for Kosovo. He came in and he stamped the position. Brilliant player. You have Habib Mohamed who took Adokwe position, play number 3. Fantastic. So in our time there was a competition. Today there was no competition. So some of the players, they feel so cool that whether they play well or not, they will play. We have to give the local players, we have to give them the chance, the confidence to play for the national team. So in our time, maybe there are certain players that looks as if they are key players in the team. We were not key players. We have players like William Clero and the rest who were pushing us, so we have to make sure that we are not going to allow them to take our positions. For example, when we went to the World Cup 2006, Osepupo was a top defender. After the game against Germany, after the game against Italy, the second game against Czech Republic, it was Sheila Alias who was
Appiah calling for local players to be included in the collapse. And that brings us to the end of Sports and Trends today. I am Godwin Opoku Ochre. I'll hand over to my colleague and the opponent.
away with growing and aging, will definitely grow. Today on Health Tips on ABC in the Morning, we are bringing you 7 steps to staying active as you age. And a meme I found on social media I want to read to you before we kickstart with the tips. It says that we took so long growing from age 10 to 20, but the speed at which we are growing, or we are moving from 20 to 30, is at a very alarming rate. So meaning that from the time we are growing from 10 to 20 was at a very slow rate. Then when we go to 20 and moving to 30 was very fast. And definitely we keep growing, and there are things that we need to prioritize and do as we stay active and grow healthy in the right way. The first tip we are giving to you here on Health Tips on ABC in the Morning is that consult a doctor. Consulting a doctor can never be overemphasized. There is a strong need for us to go for checkups, go to the hospital, take our medications when the need be, and to be able to seek medications or seek doctor's advice when we need to. So discuss your health and fitness goals with your doctor anytime you want to do, or you are finding the need to. And then the second one too is that you need to get clearance for physical activity, especially if you have healthy concerns. And then you also need to be mindful that you have to create a personalized exercise plan. This will really help you as you seek or consult your doctor. The second step we are giving you right here on staying active as you age is to eat properly. Eating properly is also equally important as seeing or consulting your doctor. When you eat anyhow, you eat any food anytime, you might not be able to get your food digested when eating at the right time, or when you are not eating the right food. So you are advised to eat properly, so that when you are aging, you can age healthily in the right way. We are moving to the second step as we are giving you some steps in staying active as you age. The third step is that you should stay active. You should stay active, and staying active it involves not indulging yourself in anything. And when I talk about anything, you are being advised to be mindful of what you eat, as we just learned from the previous step, where you go to, the things you do, the things you involve yourself into, things that are not needed or won't bring development to you. You shouldn't prioritize in it. So you should stay active in the sense of being focused on what you do, and then looking at what you eat, and then where you stay and the people you hang around with. The third step that we are giving you, the fourth step is sharpen the mind. Sharpening the mind is very important. The mind is what is going to help you or carry you through your age or your old age days, and to be able to sustain you to do whatever you have to do. So in prioritizing and staying active as you age, you are being advised to exercise daily and to read, to meditate, to sleep by resting the brain. And resting the brain also requires you to read, to go through some meditation, or be on your own in your room by silently spending some time, either 30 minutes or 40 minutes to yourself. The fifth step we are giving you as you stay active in aging is to socialize. We learned in the second or in the third step that you should be mindful of what you do by staying active. But the fifth step is telling that you should socialize. You can't always be on your own, as we are learning here that you should prioritize meditation, reading, and all that. There is also a need for you to socialize, to bond with friends, with families, with loved ones, to check up on them, and to encourage you in your happy mood and everything you do. So simple phone calls to check up on your loved ones, your church service, or your from your friends, your family members, to get connected to them, will really require and help you to socialize in your area, or even develop or join a community club whereby you help to develop things in your community. Socialization promotes cognitive and mental health, which in turn helps you to benefit from your physical health. And then the sixth point we are looking at is you should have a purpose. You should have a purpose. Having a purpose in life is one thing that we can't leave or go away with in aging. When older adults retire, they have plenty of time on their hands, but may not know how to occupy the hours. You might not consider starting a new hobby, or you might also consider starting on learning how to come up with a new skill, and do other stuff. So learning or having a purpose is one thing that you need to do. So as young as you are thinking of staying active to be able to grow healthily as you age, you should be mindful to have a purpose. Having a purpose could be anything, especially things that you are passionate or you love. This thing could be as developing a club in your community where you join people to develop your community or to embark on communal labor, or something that inspire young people in finding their purpose as well. This thing, when you discover as young as you are, as you are aging, will help you to get to the right spot and then live healthily and fulfilled life. So this is the tip we are giving you. And then the final tip we are giving you, right, on health tips on ABC in the morning, as we are giving you active steps in staying healthy as you grow, is to have fun. There is this rhyme that we say that we kind of overemphasize, that also needs much importance and awareness. So it is, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. This thing can never be overemphasized. You can't always stick to your books and learn and do. We are not saying on ABC in the morning that it's not good to learn, to read, to meditate. It's good, but when you keep at it and do it for a long time, you are not really giving yourself or opening yourself out to things that you are to avail yourself to other stuff that you know you could do and then have. So you are being advised to have fun alongside as you are trying to stay active, to follow active steps as you age. So you should be able to embark on these things. Laughter has been proven to benefit the mind, emotions, and body. During laughter, the body undergoes psychological changes similar to those that result from exercising, which promote cardiovascular health. And then have a remedy themed movie night with your family and friends. Regularly indulge in watching comic television and shows. So these are the 7 steps we brought you on health tips right on ABC in the morning, where we encourage you that staying active as you grow is very mindful. You might not be in your 60s, but you might be, or you are in your 20s, in your 30s, getting closer to your 60s, and definitely you are being advised to stay active as you grow. So this is health tips on ABC in the morning. Let's meet some other time.
You're still watching ABC in the morning. Let's head straight into Business Fix. We look at everything concerning the business market. We're looking at what it contains and how it affects us as a people. Today on Business Fix, we are looking at the secondary bond market. The bond market, that's what we are looking at. And this week, the secondary bond market's volume has dropped to 886 million Ghana cedis from the week before's 1.21 billion Ghana cedis. Secondary bond volume has dropped to 886 million Ghana cedis. Last week, the bond market activity dropped by 5.35%, reaching 886 million Ghana cedis, down from the 1.21 billion Ghana cedis the week before. There was a little trading across the different types of bonds that there are. Just a little trading was seen across. So for persons who invest in bonds, this is what concerns you. The February 2027 and 2032 bonds, which made up of 64.09% of all trades, with average yields of 24.31 and 27.20%, and bonds maturing between 2027 and 2030 accounted for 45.74% of the market, with an average yield of 26.25%. With recent resettlement of 888 million Ghana cedis in cocoa bonds and 11.5 million Ghana cedis in coupon payments, analysts are expecting trading to pick up soon, especially for shorter term bonds. So even though the bond market volume has dropped, analysts are expecting that the bonds will pick up because there have been resettlements of cocoa bonds and coupon payments. So the cocoa bonds are 888 million Ghana cedis and coupon payments are $11.5 million. Repurchase agreements were also seen in this. Repurchase agreements which are commonly called repos. And let's look at what repurchase agreements are. Repurchase agreements or repo deals in the context of bond trading are short-term financing transactions. In a repurchase agreement, one party sells a bond to another party with an agreement to repurchase them later. So say you and I were in agreement. I had a sheet of paper and I sold it to you for a short-term financial transaction that in the next few days or next few months I will be buying or purchasing my paper back from you, my sheet of paper back from you at a slightly higher price. That is a repurchase agreement. So normally repurchase agreements are used for liquidity management. Institutions use repurchase agreements to manage cash flows and liquidity needs. I need some cash in my system. I am hard pressed for the cash. I get into a repurchase agreement with another institution so that I can have some cash quickly. And repurchase agreements again are used as leverage. Investors can acquire more bonds without immediately tying up their capital. Investors use repurchase agreements for this too. We have joining us Duke Marfo, who is an investment banker and a fund manager, to have a discussion on this. Duke, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, Duke.
Good morning to all your listeners and viewers.
Thank you for joining us on ABC in the morning.
Okay.
Duke,
thanks for having me.
The secondary bond market volume has dropped from 1.21 billion Ghana cedis to 886 million Ghana cedis. What does this mean for persons who invest in bonds?
Okay, so yes, basically the market saw a huge dip in the secondary bonds trading. That's 5.35%. So basically what this means for investors is that currently investors or the market is beginning to look and diversify their portfolios into other forms of asset classes, like the corporate bonds, like the Casapreco that have come, the Leshegos that are also trying to issue on the market. So this is it's just a normal market occurrence whereby people want to diversify their portfolios and then look elsewhere. So what accounted for this particular huge drop was the fact that they were coming from basically the February 2027 and the February 2032 bonds. These particular bonds accounted for 64.09% of the total volumes traded for that particular day. So, well, in terms of risk as well, the risk to the investors is that probably, let's talk about inflationary risk and interest rate risk, whereby definitely as inflation continues to edge up, here right now inflation is around 20.4% for the month of August, and we saw that it's beginning to come down. But then in the case where it goes up, there's a converse relationship, that's inverse relationship between bonds and interest rates. So here I would say that investors shouldn't be worried. In the coming weeks, we are expected to see the volumes continue to go back up on the secondary market for the government bonds. But this is just an indication, like I mentioned earlier, that investors are now well informed, and they are now trying to diversify their portfolios into other asset classes. Yes, so there's not necessarily a cause for alarm when it comes to the bond market in Ghana. Yeah, thank you.
And in coupon repayments in the bonds, what effect do you think this $11.5 million will have on the local US bonds and the liquidity of the market?
Well, yes. For this particular $11.5 million coupon payments, it's expected it was very expected by investors on the market. So this is going to bring a new form of cash flow onto the market, whereby investors are going to, ride on the back of this cash flow and also ramp up their businesses. So in the long run, when it comes to the economy of Ghana, this particular inflow is actually going to boost the economy in terms of return, in terms of boosting businesses, people, contractors, and all the likes of so many other people, traders as well, have been waiting on this particular coupon payment. So it is highly welcome, and definitely most of it will go back into investment in the sector. So this is definitely going to boost the economy.
Well, Duke, with the 45.7% of the market activity concentrated in maturities from 2027 to 2030, what does this indicate about investor sentiment and preferences?
Okay, yes. So coupled with the fact that the government did a DDP exchange, we also, most investors on the market looking up to these maturities for 2027 and 2030, this is even accounting for that around 45.74%, with an average yield to maturity of 26.25. So meaning there's going to be a spike on the market when these maturities are due. And then most investors are also trying to position themselves around these maturities to once again diversify, or rather probably roll over in some other form of government instrument, most investors are looking at the sentiment whereby they want to probably diversify from these bonds into probably the treasury bill market or corporate bonds and even the stocks on the market. Yes.
Okay, so what are you going to say to persons looking into investing into bonds and navigating the market? What would you recommend for investors who are looking to navigate the current bond market conditions?
Okay, so timing is key. That's one thing I'll say. Timing is key. And then looking at the currently we are also in an election year. So everybody is quite skeptical as to who is going to come and how things are going to change. So currently looking into the bond market, I think everybody should relax and have a keen eye, because the elections is also definitely going to influence it. But then when it comes to the bond market, it is government who is issuing it. So irrespective of whichever government may come in, rest assured, investors should be confident that they will definitely get their monies back if they invest in bonds. And currently, the bonds are expected to also inch up since the interest rates or the inflationary rates are beginning to go down. So bond rates are going to be quite lucrative and attractive. So if you're an investor looking to explore the bond market, I think you should continue observing, and this is actually not a bad time to actually get into it, but you should observe with a keen eye, and your timing must be good.
Well, bondholders agitated some time back about the returns on their investments, and you are also saying that investors should be confident that they will make their money. Is it really a good time? Should we really say that regardless of everything that has happened, we shouldn't be bothered about the returns on our monies?
Well, with the DDP that came recently, I know people are really not happy. But then, as an investor, it depends on what you are looking for. There are some investors who want to take positions, large corporate investors who want to take positions in this particular market. But then, most of the sentiment will come from the individuals who were not happy with the DDP. So, like I said, the timing is very important as well. So it depends on you as an investor and what you are looking for. Exactly. But for the bond market, it's still active. I will not. So for individuals who want to probably are not too happy with the bond market, there's also an opportunity to diversify in terms of corporate bonds. Not only government bonds are issued, we also have corporate bonds. I think we have the Casapreco that has come on the market. I think Leshego is also trying to come on the market as well. So these are also other options that investors may try to look at. And I also mentioned the stock market. So it largely depends on you, the investor, and where you want to, where your sentiment actually lies.
Yes. Finally, before you go, where do repo deals find their expression in all of these?
Okay, so for when it comes to repos normally happen a lot of the markets, especially the secondary market. And even for this particular drop from the 1.21 billion to the 886 billion, there were largely 4 main repo transactions that happened on the market. So for
Hello, Duke. Hello.
An investor gets, yes.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. So for repos is a repurchase order. So an investor gets into the market or the bond market and is holding a particular bond, but then he wants to probably cash out at a given time before its maturity. You get it? So he will then look for another buyer on the market to take off the bond from him. And this normally comes at either a discount or a premium. Yeah. So for the repos market, it's very, very active, and repos are very key in how the secondary market also operates. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for speaking with us, Duke.
Thank you so much.
Duke Mafo is an investment banker and a fund manager, and he helped us with this conversation on the secondary bond market volume that has dropped to 886 million Ghana cedis from last week's 1.21 billion Ghana cedis. However, Duke says that investors should be rest assured that their monies are safe. And if you want to enter into bond, don't be scared to go. Duke assures us that it is a good place to go to. Not just government bonds are available, corporate bonds are there, the stock market is there. See the one that fits with you and then take a step. This is all for Business Fix. The main discussion continues. Stay with us. You're welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. You're still watching ABC in the morning. Heading straight into our main discussion for today. Yesterday, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo appeared at the UN General Assembly, where he gave his last address, his final address as President of the Republic of Ghana. He delivered his final address at the UN General Assembly on Wednesday, September 25, 2024. This is the last before leaving office. His speech focused on the theme, leaving no one behind, acting together for the advancement of peace, sustainable development, and human dignity for present and future generations. This is the 79th session of the UN General Assembly and is taking place at the UN headquarters in New York City in the USA from 21st to 27th September. As part of his engagements, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo participated in the Summit of the Future on multilateral solutions for a better tomorrow. And on Sunday, 22nd September, during the summit, he addressed the plenary meeting and held bilateral talks with leaders, including the President of Finland, the Crown Prince of Kuwait, and the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis. President Akufo-Addo also interacted with Ghanaian international civil servants working at the UN and participated in a high-level moment to honor victims of slavery at the Ark of Return monument at the UN headquarters. Additionally, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo paid a courtesy call on the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. On 23rd September, Nana Akufo-Addo received the prestigious Atlantic Council Global Citizen Award alongside Kyriakos Mitsotakis, who is the Prime Minister of Greece, Giorgio Meloni, who is the President of the Council of Ministers of Italy, and Nikki Lee, Vice Chairwoman of CJ Group. Today, 26th September, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will also be hosted by the W.E.B. Du Bois Museum Foundation for a luncheon and attend the MyPad lunch. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will conclude his official visit to the United States and return to Ghana on Friday, 27th September 2024. That is tomorrow. The 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly meeting happened yesterday, and with a keynote address by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana. In his speech at the meeting yesterday, he focused on the most pressing global challenges, from peace and security to human rights and sustainable development. As a respectable leader on the African continent, President Akufo-Addo said there is a need to reform the United Nations Security Council, stressing that the demand for reforms has found acceptance by President Joe Biden of the United States of America and President Macron of France, hoping that other leaders will follow suit. These are the highlights from his remarks yesterday at the UN General Assembly. Let's take a listen.
President Joe Biden of the United States of America and President, reforming the UN Security Council is a matter of fairness and necessity. The current structure, created in 1945, no longer reflects the realities of today's geopolitical and economic landscape. Africa, Latin America, and South Asia remain underrepresented despite their significant influence on global affairs. This lack of representation undermines the legitimacy of the Council's decisions, and the use of veto power by a few permanent members often paralyzes its ability to act effectively during crises. Reform is essential to ensure that the Council is more inclusive, democratic, and responsive to the complex challenges we face today. The world has changed, and the Security Council must change with it to maintain its relevance in promoting global peace and security. For years, I've championed the need to reform the Security Council as per the Ezulwini Consensus, the common African position on UN reform, which calls for Africa to have permanent seats on the Council. It is incomprehensible that a continent of 1.4 billion people has no permanent voice in shaping decisions that affect global peace and security. The time for half measures is over. We need a Security Council that is fit for purpose in today's world. It is heartening, however, that finally the demand for reform has found acceptance by leaders of 2 of the 5 permanent members, President Joe Biden of the United States of America and President Emmanuel Macron of France. Hopefully, the others will soon follow suit. Reforming the UN Security Council is a matter. As my presidency draws to a close, I want to assure this Assembly that the upcoming 2024 elections in Ghana will be free, fair, and transparent. Ghanaians have demonstrated time and again in the last 3 decades their strong attachment to democracy, which they will not permit to be undermined. The Electoral Commission, supported by Ghana's security services, is well equipped to ensure that the will of the Ghanaian people is respected. Ghana has long been a beacon of democracy in Africa, and we intend to keep it that way. The 2024 elections will be proof of our enduring adherence to the rule of law, transparency, and the principles of democratic accountability that have guided our nation in recent decades. As my presidency draws to a close, I want to assure this Assembly that the upcoming 2024 elections in Ghana will be free, fair, and transparent. Ghanaians have demonstrated time and again in the last 3 decades their strong attachment to democracy, which they will not permit to be undermined. The Electoral Commission, supported by Ghana's security services, is well equipped to ensure that the will of the Ghanaian people is respected. Ghana has long been a beacon of democracy in Africa, and we intend to keep it that way.
The marked significant transition in Ghana's leadership is coming soon as incumbent President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo prepares to hand over the reins to his trusted Vice President Mamadou Bawumia. Now the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party says come December 7, if he wins the 2024 elections, he will be handing over to his Vice President. After serving 2 terms, President Akufo-Addo has expressed his confidence in Bawumia's ability to lead the country forward, citing his impressive record as Vice President. Let's listen to the President as he rallies behind his Vice President in hopes that the Vice President becomes President of Ghana come January 7.
But I still have one more task to do, and that is, with all my strength, all my energy, to help the new flag bearer, to help Mamadou Bawumia win the election of 2024.
Also, you just heard the President. He is very confident that as we get to the polls on December 7, Ghanaians are going to vote for his Vice President, who is now the flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Mamadou Bawumia. The President is very, very sure that Ghanaians will be voting for him. And it's on this confidence that he says that he knows he will be handing over to Dr. Mamadou Bawumia come January 7. Since we are looking at elections, let's look at the Electoral Commission, because the Electoral Commission has faced several challenges and concerns from political parties in the run-up to the 2024 general elections. Ghana's voter registration process has been marred by certain discrepancies and has sparked concerns about the integrity of the roll. The opposition NDC has raised issues with illicit voter additions, untraceable voter transfers, and missing voter entries, accounting to anomalies. Despite these concerns, President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo declared at the United Nations General Assembly that the Electoral Commission is fully equipped to handle the upcoming elections. To better understand this, we have been joined by Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer, who is the Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC, of what his take is on what the President said at the UN General Assembly. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, how are you?
Fine, thank you, Doc. I hope you're also fine.
I'm terrific.
Doc, your party has had certain concerns with the Electoral Commission to the point where you have called for a forensic audit on the voters register. However, yesterday when the president was addressing the UN General Assembly, he said that he is very confident in the Electoral Commission, that the Electoral Commission is equipped to handle the upcoming elections. What do you have to say about that?
Well, as for the president, he was just doing his own thing. I mean, nobody needs to take him serious because this is the president who was all over the place telling the whole world that he is going to hand over to his vice president. He will not hand over to somebody he has defeated before and all that, until when voices from the diplomatic circle started warning him and telling him that he doesn't owe the country. Then he started shifting the goalposts. I'm sure you heard him yesterday. He was talking of he would make sure that the election will be free and fair, transparent and all that. It's not about words. You don't use words to bring free and fair elections. Okay, that is not what brings free and fair election. Free and fair election is a process that we must all engender and make sure that we follow it through. But if the process is murky, and like I've been saying it all along, if somebody somewhere has a criminal mind to manipulate the process for the interest of his own party, we are not going to sit aloof and allow that one to gloss over. And that is what we are pointing at. It's not about just going to UN and be telling them all packed of lies over there, thinking that the world is no more a global village. It's a global village now. Whatever you are doing over there, see, we're listening to him. And the people, some of them, you could see that they were not even clapping. They were just looking at him, knowing that this man is just chaining out a pack of lies. Because we know what is going on. At the time he was speaking, in the same security people he was praising, they were arresting people who were demonstrating against the illegal galamsey going on in the country, the galamsey going on. His security people are rounding them up and beating everybody up. And so you see, and they are watching it. The international media, they showcase all that. So these things that the president is talking, we are saying that the Electoral Commission, as it is constituted, is more or less a wing of the NPP. So the president is virtually addressing his own political appointees. We describe them as political appointees of the NPP. Because you can't bring your party hardcore fanatics as commissioners of the commission and expect that we should have trust and confidence in such a commission to deliver a free and fair election. What happened to it? Now you have seen the very bad register they have put out there. And now they are very hot. We are calling for forensic audit, as if it was only NDC which was calling for forensic. Now you see that the other political parties are joining the fray. Just yesterday, the Movement for Change, Alan and his group, are also calling for audit.
Well,
and they have even
Dr. Rashid, I'll come back to you. We are joined by Kwesi Kwarteng, who is the Public Relations Officer for the Ministry of Education. Kwesi, you're welcome. Well, you heard your colleague from the other side, Dr. Rashid Tanko. He says that the Electoral Commission is a wing of the NPP, so we shouldn't pay heed to what the president said, that the EC is equipped to handle the elections. But before that, the president addressed the UN General Assembly and said that he's positive that Ghana will come out peaceful after the elections. To you, Kwesi Kwarteng, what do you make of that?
Well, thank you very much, and my regards to my big brother, Dr. Rashid Purple. Of course, I mean, this conversation, we've had it so many times when it comes to electoral processes. But if you reverse back to 4 years ago, you would realize that, I mean, parties may have their own positions when it comes to the electoral process. 8 years ago, you would realize, I mean, this conversation was also repeated. So it looks like it's more or less like every 4 years we have this conversation. But depending on which side of the equation that you take, that is where you come out with the opinion whether or not the EC is a credible institution or not. But for us in the NPP, whichever our concerns are, our call is that we should conduct our struggles in a high plane of dignity and respect to each other, so that ultimately we do not seek to destroy and undermine the same institution that we've built over the years. If you recall, when the MPP was in opposition, I mean, we made similar calls. So it is not new. I mean, it's been part of the general political strategy or the political landscape that are used by political parties. But of course, I mean, if you are to look at the calls or the claims that have been made, first of all, it is important to understand that the EC is not a creation of any political party. It is a creation of law that is a constitutional instrument that brought the EC into being. And gives mandate to the Electoral Commission to also compile electoral register. It is important to understand that the electoral register is not devoid of discrepancies. It is not a sacred document because ultimately it is not compiled by robots or, for instance, a program AI. It is compiled by human beings. So definitely you are going to see some of these discrepancies. And the discrepancies does not affect, let's say, the NDC or the MPP alone. And so we in the MPP, we are also at the end of the day, we believe that we must all vote with a very credible register. But you see, the point is that the CI that established the EC even could envisage that there could be discrepancies in that electoral register and the electoral process at the end of the day. It is a more reason why it gives room for auditing and, of course, remedying the discrepancies that has been identified.
Because of the auditing of the discrepancies is why your colleagues in the NDC are saying that allow for an independent forensic audit so that Ghanaians will see the register as credible. Ghanaians will trust the register.
If you had allowed me to lie, I was just coming there because, you see, first of all, understand that the exhibition process is in itself an auditing process. And there is no proper auditing than subjecting your register for the review and commentary of 17 million voters in the country. I'm not sure there is any proper auditing that beats that. That's why I said that. I mean, it is based on that. That is why even the CI that established the Electoral Commission and gave this mandate, and we said that there could be discrepancies. And you see, election or electoral process is not an event. When at every point the provisional register is exhibited to Ghanaians, I'm sure that is where our friends saw the alleged discrepancies. What happens next is what you call the final register, that the Electoral Commission gives to the political parties to be able to make sure that we conduct, the elections. So before that, those discrepancies that comes to the attention of the Electoral Commission are then addressed before the final register comes out. It is important to understand that, based on the Electoral Commission's official communication, they are saying that the NDC has not presented a single document or single evidence to support their claim of discrepancies. The EC has maintained that they are willing to address all discrepancies if state is made available to them. And indeed, whether you bring in a foreign or entity, whether KPMG, whether Deloitte or any other organization, ultimately it will still have to be the same electoral commissioner who has to use, or the electoral commission who has to use their own internal process to remedy it.
The stakeholders in this electoral process are saying that we know that we have seen certain discrepancies. And granted, yesterday, a high court, the magistrate court in the Ashanti region has ruled that some names found in the Menchia South register should be reverted to the original constituency. So these are certain discrepancies. The issue of Pusiga is also there. So the stakeholders in the electoral process are saying that, yes, we know you are the Electoral Commission. However, we want to see an independent person come and do this. Electoral Commission hasn't been pushed aside.
You see, I think we are just doing a merry-go-round thing. I have not denied the possibility of discrepancies in the electoral register. That's why I even admitted that the CI provides for same, that there is a possibility for those discrepancies. And the CI provides means for resolving those discrepancies. And so the Electoral Commission should just be given the opportunity to address the discrepancies. You see, from 92 till now, we have all had the opportunity to at least see or witness one or two elections. There has not been any instance where a third party will subject our register to scrutiny under the umbrella of auditing process. That's why I'm saying that at the end of the day, the exhibition process provides an opportunity for auditing. And indeed, if you claim there are 250,000 discrepancies, the EC is saying that they are just open and ready and available to address those discrepancies. Just provide data on those discrepancies so that they will be addressed. I mean, it is as simple as that. We are not saying there cannot be discrepancies, but what we are essentially saying is that the EC has structures, has protocols, has systems to be able to address those discrepancies. And the EC should be given the opportunity to correct or address those discrepancies that has been identified.
Okay,
and, I mean, come to think of it, those discrepancies does not only affect the NDC alone, it also affects us. So the call should be within a certain scope, it should be within a certain framework, but ultimately it will have to be the Electoral Commission who has to provide their own internal mechanisms to be able to address those discrepancies. But to suggest that a foreign entity, I mean, should subject our register to scrutiny, I mean, is uncalled for.
Well, Kwesi, please stay with us. Don't go, because we'll be speaking about free SHS. Dr. Rashid. Dr. Rashid Tanko.
Very well.
Your brother Kwesi Kwarteng is saying that to call for a third or a foreign entity to be part of this process is uncalled for. He does not believe that you have grounds to be asking for a third party to be involved in the auditing of our voters register.
Well, let me correct my brother. I'm not Pelpo, Honorable Pelpo. I'm Tanko Rashid Computer. Because I'm also called Rashid. He's called Rashid. He's my brother, all right. Well, I'm Dr. Tanko Rashid Computer, so it's different. Let me refresh my brother's mind back to 2012, 2015, 2016. In 2012, when we did the first biometric register, I mean, we had issues. I mean, we needed support from outside to help us, and it was the same NPP. In fact, you see, the world is interesting. It was NPP which was advocated for this biometric register, and then we acceded to it. We were empowered then, and then we had to get UNDP to give us technical support to go into the register and the IT system of the Electoral Commission in 2012. In fact, we were in Tika first, and the register was put together, and we had the 2012 elections. Albeit, they still went to court. In 2015, agitation started from the same MPP. And this time around, they were talking of about 80,000 Togolese were in our register. MPP. By then, their running mate, Dr. Baumia, was all over the place, making presentations and holding press conferences and fora, demonstrating the almost 80,000 Togolese in the register. Their own youth organizer then, Sami Awuku held press conference. We have it. We have the video. It's all over the place. Breathing fire and saying that their people names were taken out from the register from the 10 regions at that time, and that if those names were not restored back, there was going to be chaos in the country, and all of the things. Their national chairman was calling for audit of the register, and that they were even looking for a fresh register. They think that the register was bedeviled with a lot of discrepancies to the extent that it cannot be used at that time for any purpose, and therefore we should discard it and have a fresh register. Then Madam Jean Mensah, who was then the IEA executive director, called for an independent body. Listen, called for an independent body to audit the register, because that cost should not be a problem. We have chosen democracy, and then we must find money to do the audit. In all this, Madam Charlotte Osei didn't dismiss it. I'm sure Kweku at that time would have been part of the MPP process at that time. They didn't send their grievances to the Electoral Commission for the Electoral Commission to use their internal mechanism to solve that 80,000 Togolese they were talking about. What did they do? A body was formed, an independent body. They were not commissioners, headed by Justice Crabb. Justice Crabb headed a 5-man committee to investigate this allegation being bandied around by the NPP at that time and all their press conferences. That was an audit. I'm sure he is a PRO of education. He knows what I'm talking about. If they hadn't done audit, do you think they would come out with a report? They would have looked into the register to be sure that these 80,000 Togolese you are talking of, they are not there. We made appearance before the committee to make sure that we let them know that these names Dr. Bawumia is banding around are Ghanaians. If you are called Kofiche or Kofihu, doesn't mean that you are a Togolese. And we have artificial boundaries which are separated Ghana and Togo. Go to Aflao. People are walking from house to house, and one house is in Togo, another house is in Ghana. And so if they have names and you think that there are mechanisms of which to stop them from registering, at that time, if the person was able to register properly and was accepted and his name is gotten into the register, you cannot sit somewhere and say that because the name sounds Togolese, it's a Togolese. We made presentations at that time. NPP also made presentation before the committee. They didn't say because it's an external body, they are not commissioners of the Electoral Commission, we are not going to present our evidence to them. They presented their evidence before the committee. They came out with their findings. After that, we went into the election. The NPP won the election. They won the 2016 election.
Oh, Dr.
So
Rashid,
what are they talking about? So I'm telling you that when they are saying that a body has never audited our register, that's not true. That cannot be true.
Dr.
It happened severally.
I will come back to you. Let me speak with Kwesi on free SHS. Kwesi Kwarteng,
I think
sir.
it's really important that you give me a bite on Dr. Rashid's response.
Okay, maybe 30 seconds.
Just a quick one. First of all, the Electoral Commissioner has made it clear that it's not had any external institution that has audited our register since 1992. Like I indicated, the constitutional instrument that established the Electoral Commission staged discrepancies and has given same powers to them to be able to internally address them. It is also important to also highlight that as of now, NDC has not been able to provide a single evidence to support their claim of discrepancies. Unlike in our case, where we're able to provide over 80,000 names to support our claim. I mean, come to think of it, a party that over the past 10 years has not been able to successfully even collect their results. So, I mean, this time we're spending more time to be able to build the technology to be able to collect their results rather than engaging in some of these things. Because you see, you are unable to track the claims that are being made, particularly when, I guess, 2015, when you had the likes of Dr. Osampo, the then chairman, who, I mean, suggested that MPP...
Well, Kwesi, I think our 30 seconds is up. I have a very important question I want to ask you on free SHS, since we have you.
But you are asking to talk. I was just landing.
Kwesi, you landed, then I'll go. But remember, we said 30 seconds.
No, I said we said 1 minute.
Hey, Kwesi, no, 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay, very well, 30 seconds. So, Mr. Sedun Ketia, current chairman, then former general secretary, also said, if we believe EC has lost credibility, you have a problem. MPP score for audit for voters register is upset, Mr. Osampo. And then even former President Mahama had also mentioned that we should leave the Electoral Commission to do its job, and that the EC cannot rig elections. Elections are one of the police station. So what changed? What changed? As today, they are on the other side, and all of a sudden, they do not have the same Electoral Commissioner who they believe that should be allowed to do his job. Our position is that the EC should be allowed to address all concerns that they raise. Most importantly, they should provide evidence for state. Thank you.
Well, Kwesi, in the president's remarks or address yesterday at the UN General Assembly, he said that some 5.7 million Ghanaians have benefited from his flagship free SHS program. However, many have raised concerns about free SHS, including various CSOs, especially on the quality of education that is coming out of the free SHS program. As the PRO of the ministry, what steps are the ministry taking to make sure that free SHS is better placed and improved so that students who take advantage of this program will benefit more than they are at the moment?
You see, I have always maintained that the backlash and the bad PR surrounding the free SHS is just occasioned by the fact that it was a political promise and some way, somehow, political leadership or the party that brought the free SHS into being, some way will benefit from it. And so for that matter, let's, nip it down. Because at the end of the day, if you go beyond free SHS, we've had other challenges within the education sector. And education sector, the challenges within the education sector have been systemic. But unfortunately, any time any reference is made to any challenge within the education space, it's just because government is paying for parents. That is why maybe all the challenges have come. So it makes everybody, particularly the Senate mind, down such course. If you recall, just yesterday, there was one Professor Ababio in University of Ghana, who made similar claims. And his assertion was that the free SHS has rather reduced quality. But you see, he never supported his claims with any evidence. Neither was his research page, the professor. To the extent that he threw a figure there, 83.something% of free students are unable to calculate algebra. It just came out that maybe the department that he teaches, he doesn't teach algebra there, and they don't even do algebra there. And so some of these things you tend to analyze or ask questions whether indeed they are people that can legitimately be trusted. Because at the end of the day, we got to know that, this professor is just a friend of the NDC. In fact, he's a member of the NDC. He has been wearing their t-shirts, going for rallies, paying his dues. And so when such comments come, you cannot just situate it out of that context. But if you come to think of it, all over the world, it has been established that when enrollment increases, quality reduces. And so that is the established standard or research that is there. But in the case of Ghana, we were able to defy the odds. Even though enrollment increased, we were rather able to increase quality. And what did we do? We brought a very novel response in the area of the double track. So that at the same time where you are increasing access, you make sure that you divide the students into a tracking system, recruit more teachers, so that at the end of the day, you are having the teacher to student ratio really coming down. Also making sure that you increase the contact hours, provide the needed materials, provide kind of incentives to teachers to be able to provide extra classes for them. And then it's going to translate into the results that we have. Some of these calls that has been made, it is important to situate it in the proper context. And what is that proper context? The proper context is that for the past 9 years, it is only the free senior high school students that have been able to score aggregate A1 to C6 in all course subjects, having a minimum of 50% passes in all course subjects. That is the free SHS bank over the past 9 years. If you want to do even a random comparison of the free SHS outcome in the data, for instance, in 2015, before the NDC less power, you had 45.2%. Today, you are having 73.11% for English language. Interscience was 28.7%. Today, in 2023, we are having 66.82%. Mathematics was 32.4%. Today, we are having 62.23% in 2023. In 2015, social studies was 57.4%. Today, we are having 76.76% in 2023. If you go beyond that, at the senior high school level, now we have attained gender parity. What essentially means is that there is a balanced proportion of both males and females in our senior high schools. So when people come in with suggestions that the free SHS has rather reduced quality, while the data does not support it, it becomes very difficult to believe. Yes, we do have challenges. Of course, if you have enrollment of, for instance, 2015 being around 299,649 and moving to 504,729, certainly you are going to have some, basic or anticipated.
So, Kwesi, what are you going to do to improve upon it? You are hoping to win.
If it is not broken, you don't fix it. The past 9 years.
So free SHS isn't broken.
No, at the end of the day, what is your standard of saying that it is broken? Because the data available in terms of the outcomes does not support same. That's why I'm saying that for the past 9 years, it is only the free senior high school students that every year you are getting 50%, a minimum of 50% of them getting A1 to C6.
Yes, granted,
interesting. Even in 2022 and 2023, you had 60% pass rate in A1 and C6, compared to previously when only 28% of students who passed and were eligible for tertiary education. So when people say that quality has been compromised the free SHS is challenged, I don't get what they are saying. Because the data available does not support them.
Maybe they are talking about the fact that the students are not getting the right meals to eat in school. They have complained about the quality of food, about the infrastructure issues. So maybe those are the things that can be improved on.
We said which ones?
Food quality, infrastructure, and various things that have been raised.
That we have challenges with food, just like we have challenges even in all sectors of our economy, including education. But don't let us paint a picture that if there are any challenges within food supplies, it's occasioned by the fact that the government is paying. Yes, we've had challenges in the past with food, because when we were, as a country, post-COVID, when we were hit with inflationary pressures, suppliers were unwilling to supply food to schools. And so even if government is willing to pay them, by the time they supply, their money would have rather been developed. In that case, they were unwilling to make those distributions to foods to school. But we pass those stages. We don't have such challenge again. Now, there is a very, systemic and free flow of food in terms of the food distribution chain. So what are you going to face? Yes, we agree that every policy should, be looking at maximum improvement, opening room for more improvement, and building upon the policy. But when consistently calls are on the free SHS at the neglect of even a basic school level and a junior high school level, which happens to be the weaker link in the education system, you see, we have inherited an education system that continues to use 19th century approach of educating people, and we expect 21st century outcomes, which never happens anywhere. We have been dealing with an education system where students learn in 19th century classrooms, and we expect 21st century results. It is the more reason why today the conversation has changed, that we are repositioning Ghana's education to be able to fit into what is happening within the 21st century. So when all these things are happening, we are talking about STEM education, we are building new STEM schools.
Well, Kwesi, please, let me hold you there at STEM. We'll come back to you. But let me speak with Dr. Tanko. Dr. Tanko, the president has said that 5.7 million Ghanaians have benefited from free SHS. Now, the flag bearer for your party, John Mahama, says that when voted into power and in hopes that he becomes president come January 7, he is looking at implementing a free tertiary education for first years in universities. Do you think this is the right time to be promising freebies such as these? Dr. Rashid Tanko.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can, sir.
Yes. So let me correct some impressions that were created by Kweku, that
that's
the NDC did not. Kwesi Kwarteng of MPP. Of course, he's an MPP man. Everybody knows that. He's a PRO of the Education Ministry. He's not running away from his MPP colors. He's an MPP. You know that we don't need to tell you that we have enough evidence. The Electoral Commission themselves admitted that the NDC have issues, and that they have admitted to some of the issues we are raising. And they went ahead to say we have even corrected some of the issues the NDC is raising. So you and them, who is having issues? If you say we don't have evidence, so how come the EC is correcting the evidence that they are saying that the NDC has brought to them? The Bossman is all over the place. You go to all the news portals, you'll see them talking about correcting some of the issues the NDC has raised and all that. If we don't have issues, why would they go and interdict their own officers of Electoral Commission? So this is not, let's put that propaganda aside and let's deal with a serious matter. They were trying to rig the election for you people, but we managed to get them. And that one there, nobody's going to run away from it. That 243,000 illegal data they've added.
Dr. Tanko, saying that the EC was trying to rig the elections for the NPP is a very bold statement to make. It's like you are very sure that that's what the EC was going to do.
Dear, let me give you an example. Look, I have it here. Maybe you don't know this.
Dr. Tanko, I would like for you to show us. We would like for you to show it to us very soon. But
that's why they said I was going to demonstrate to you how they were trying to rig the election with those things. And I'm telling you that you can't do a transfer in absentia. We don't do that. The law doesn't allow that. Go and look at CI 127 Regulation 22 about transfers. You must appear before a returning officer. Justify why you should be transferred to that constituency.
Dr. Tanko, we will discuss the
about.
Electoral Commission again, like we always do with you. But we want to look at the conversation of education, like I said earlier. President has said that 5.7 million Ghanaians have enjoyed free SHS. Now, your candidate, John Mahama, says that when he comes, he wants to get first year students free university education. Dr. Tanko, don't you think that it is too premature for this?
Well, let's look at free.
Well, we have lost Dr. Tanko. We'll come back to him very soon. But back to you, Kwesi, whilst we wait to establish contact with Dr. Tanko. The reviews that people are calling for the free SHS program, don't you think that it is coming from a good place? It is not necessarily because all of them want to attack the program. Some obviously are coming from a good place in wanting the program to become better than it already is.
Well, you see, the free SHS when it started was not like this. At every point, we've explored all avenues to cause improvement in the policy. But you see, when review is within a political context, and it's made to look like everything surrounding the free SHS is a bad thing. And so for that matter, I mean, people who believe that review means it should be cancelled. People also believe that review means the policy has collapsed. It did not meet the expectation that Ghanaians anticipated. It becomes very problematic. When they call for review, I'll be glad.
Hello, dear.
Or which part of the senior high school that they want the review in.
Kwesi, Dr. Tanko is back. And since we have spoken a bit on your side, let's go back to him and let's speak with him and come back to you.
Let me take it on from the free SHS. Dear, if we don't vote out these people come December 7th, our education will collapse on our head in the next 3-4 years. This system they are running, if we don't review it critically, I'm an educationist. I've been in the lecture room for almost 30 years. And I can tell you that the kind of system that we are running,
call has been put on hold.
In the next 10 to 20 years, dear, the kind of product that you are going to have from our tertiary institution would have destroyed our educational system. I'll give you an example. Do you know what they are doing? They are running what is called a quantitative educational system. That is what they are doing. They are just looking at mass numbers. Then you go and sit down there and come up with statistics to tell you that this is a number that we have achieved. This is the number of people who have passed through this. And this is a percentage. And you know how they achieve the percentages? They go and print old past questions. And print past questions. That's what they do with answers. Marking schemes. They print those ones. Then they come and give it to the students last minute and ask the teachers to teach them using the past questions and other things. You know that they've no printed books for students. They don't have books for students to study.
Don't you think that this is not fair to the students
I'm giving you rundown how they have run down the educational system. Now the children are doing what we call rote learning. Do you know what rote learning do to students? They'll go and look at the past questions and then the marking scheme. And they force them to learn this root learning about it. Then when they get into the exams hall, so what they do is that few and poor, you just put it in there. And then they assist them, some of them. The evidence was there. In fact, why even came out with it and was talking about. Then the students will come out with better grades, A, B, B, and all that.
Dr. Tanko, if you say that, doesn't mean that the Ghanaian student is not an intelligent student. To say that
I am giving you that we've all passed through this Ghanaian educational system. I am giving you what I'm telling you as a former lecturer, and I'm telling you what is going on as of now. How can a student who gets aggregate at the BEC 54, you go and put such a student into a science class? What science is he going to do? Aggregate 54. You pass through school. Science. You go and put a child who scored aggregate 54, some 60 at the BEC. and then you go and place such a child into a science class. Do you know what we call garbage in, garbage out? And such a student, you are even making a child like that to go through what is called double track system. They sit in their home for 3 months, come to school for just 2 months or 1 month, and such a student will come out. You manage to get such child to get AABB.
Dr. Sanko, you don't think that within 3 years, someone can go through reformation and become a better student than they already were? Is it to say that if I started bad throughout my lifetime, I should be bad? There's not a point in my education that I would have become better.
What is the use of the exams, the tests? What is the use? Why are you doing tests at the end of a terminal point of the education? Why do you have to do tests? That is what you see. We have what we call diagnosis assessment. You see, when you do diagnosis assessment, it helps you to place students accordingly. And then when you do a terminal test, at the end of it, you get to know their cognitive skills. Those who cognitive skills are a bit high, that is where you send them to those sciences and mathematics and all those sciences. Those who are cognitive skills are not that high. They will say their IQ is a bit low, but they are very conversant with their psychomotor skills. That's why you send them, group them, make sure that they don't go through the grammar education, because you are going to waste their time over there. And that is what these people are doing. They don't understand this. What they are interested in is that they just want numbers, and they have mass pushing them with all the double track systems.
Dr. Tanko, those are some.
And I'm saying that that is why the universities are having difficulties in educating them. It is not only Legon that this problem is. Look, my colleagues are giving me. We have a lot of data. They are finding it difficult to handle such students, because even some of them, my dear, even common sentence, just to write one sentence, it's a hell to the lecturers at the university.
Well,
because that is the problem we are having. So we are saying that review. When we are coming to review, we are coming to make it better. And that's why I'm saying I'm surprised some of them, when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama used the word, we are coming to review, they quickly went and said review means a cancellation. Okay, and this is an education ministry. I was expecting the Ministry of Education to come out and tell the whole world, we are in charge of education. The word revision has nothing to do with cancellation.
That's why today we have Kwesi Kwati on the line. So Dr. Tanko.
And that's what I'm saying. So tell Koku that what is the synonym of revision?
Well, let's hear that from Kwesi. Kwesi, Dr. Tanko is saying that as for you in the NPP, you say that the synonym of review is cancellation, and that come out and explain to Ghanaians if indeed that is it. He has raised certain concerns and allegations, and what do you say about them?
Well, I'm not sure that my role here is to be responding to questions by Dr. Tanko, Dr. Rashid. But, I mean, first of all, let me say that the double track, contrary to the general belief that it was a bad thing, was rather an innovative response to increase access at the same time maintain quality. And, I mean, to support the claim that I'm making, you have to just understand from this perspective. If you have 100,000 students in a school and you can train 50 more, it makes it 150,000 just by dividing them into two, getting 75,000 on each of the trackers, whether gold track or dream track. Recruit more teachers, increase the contact hours, make sure that you provide the needed textbooks, provide incentives to teachers to be able to make sure that at the end of the day, they provide extra classes to students, and then get the outcomes that you deserve as your first option. And the second option is bringing what we call a cut-off system, where in your failure as a government to open access, build more infrastructure, you hide under the umbrella of a cut-off system and say that if a young boy gets IGA 23, instead of giving that young boy a support system and building a system where he has an opportunity to justify himself, look into the face of this young man and tell him that you have failed, you are good for nothing. The system cannot support you just because you had IGA 23. I mean, I leave these two options to you for Ghanaians to decide which one they will select. You see, at the end of the day, the free A6S policy is not necessarily a sale policy, as has been mentioned by, what essentially, if you have English and mathematics. Those are the foundational programs that we are looking at. Automatically you get placement, because I mean those are the basis that you are.
Well, Kwesi. Hello, Kwesi. Away from the education system, away from free SHS, let me ask you about the demonstration that happened over the weekend from the Democracy Hub, their demonstration against Galamsey. Many have said that the police used brute force against the demonstrators, and it is a blight on our democracy as a people, and the government continues to fail in addressing the human rights that the Ghanaian has, especially under a president who is touted as a human rights advocate. What do you say on that? Hello, Kwesi. Okay, we seem to have lost Kwesi. We will establish contact with Kwesi so that he can give us his thoughts on the demonstration that happened over the weekend. Dr. Tanko, thank you for still staying with us.
Very well.
There was a demonstration. Protesters were arrested and arraigned before court. Some of them have been remanded for 2 weeks. People say that government has failed to uphold the human rights of Ghanaians. Do you agree with them when they say that?
Very well. Nobody needs to tell you. You don't need a rocket scientist to tell you that this government is out to muzzle critical voices. That is what their intentions are. Currently, it's like we are now in a police state. That is what is going on. Because why would they go handy with these people? It's terrible. I mean, these are ordinary Ghanaians who are venting their anger on this Galamsey, because it's the same. Don't forget, it's the president who stated at the earliest stage of his administration that he will put his presidency online over this Galamsey thing. And yet, not knowing that he was more or less a confident trickster. He was tricksing the country. That's why I describe them as confident tricksters. They trick Ghanaians a lot. They come out, and then when they make statements, you clap for them. The following day, they are doing the worst opposite of what you are clapping for. That's how they are. Because this Galamsey, I've been saying it, until we vote them out come December 7th, it will never change. Nothing is going to change. It's the same administration that deploys soldiers, police, and all the security, allied security into the Galamsey side. Nothing came out of it. Completely nothing. They were rather there protecting illegal miners. It's the same thing. The same administration went and recovered how do you call it? Excavators. Almost 500 of them. We can't trace them. You can't trace where they are. They have flown away. Okay, now excavators that have wings to fly. That is the administration we are dealing with. So they are just confident tricksters. They will not change anything. Now, when Ghanaians vent their anger, you unleash your party boys to go and beat them up in the name of police. We've been saying it. Those young boys they've recruited and put a lot of them in there. These are party apparatchiks and put them into the security service. They are the people who are going to make sure our democracy doesn't come into fruition again. Because this kind of nonsense they are doing very soon. Very soon. I'm just imagining what will happen. Imagine it was a political party like the NDC. They bring this nonsense on. They will contain us in Ghana.
Dr. Sanko.
What is their crime?
Dr. Sanko.
What is their crime?
Well, what is their crime?
What is their crime? Well, they are demonstrating to let Ghanaians know that the presidency take action. What is going on is against us. It's against our health, our well-being. It's the water of that we are drinking. If we don't take time, within some few years, we have to import water. These are the issues they are just bringing to you to support them.
Well, Dr. Sanko, your party also demonstrated not long ago. During your demonstration, police didn't brutalize you at your demonstration. Neither were any of your supporters taken into custody. But you are today saying that the police is the country is a police state now.
Did you see what happened in Kumasi, Ashanti region, the regional capital? Do you see how they attack our demonstrators at the Electoral Commission office? Are you aware that they arrested some of our boys and had to release them at the close of the day? And you know that our regional chairman was slapped by a police officer. We are still tracking that police officer. We've written petition to them to deal with that rock officer who slapped our regional chairman. Such rock characters who are in the police service, thinking that their position is tied to the apple string of MPP being in power, they should sit up.
Well, in their sitting up,
because these are the things we are not going to take. Demonstration is allowed in our constitution.
You sent a petition to the Electoral Commission. Let's get back to the Electoral Commission. You sent a petition to them, and as at now, you say that they have not responded to the petition. You have released a statement. What is your next step? I remember asking this question about what your next step will be if the EC does not respond to you, or if they fail to respond to you. And you said that when we get to the river, you won't cross it. Now, EC has not responded. We have gotten to that river. How is the NDC crossing it?
No. You see, we are close to the river.
We are still not at the river yet. We are still close to it.
No. I'm saying we are close to the river to cross. Very close. Because we send them a reminder on the 4th. That is 24th. We send them a reminder. We are waiting for their response. As of yesterday, they've not responded. We are still waiting for their response. We have lined out series of activities to make sure that this audit comes on. And I'm saying that when we get there, those series of activities, when we start rolling them out, Ghanaians should not blame us. Okay. Because the issue is not between NDC and EC. As the media, you are always asking us, what is our next line of action? The question is, what is the next line of action for Ghanaians who are lovers of our democracy? If you are a lover of our democracy, that's the question for you.
Just a second. We are still trying to get in touch with Kwesi Kwarteng so that he can join us for our conversation. But at the moment, we are speaking with Dr. Rashid Tanko. He is the Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC. Dr. Tanko, as you were.
So I'm saying that the issue is not about NDC and MPP or Electoral Commission. The issue is about Electoral Commission and Ghanaians, those who are interested in our democracy. Because these discrepancies are normally we have uncovered. It is not in the interest of NDC alone. It's in the interest of lovers of our democracy, dear. If you love democracy, you are a voter. I know you have qualified to vote. You have passed 18 years. So you have a vote. Now, you go to vote on the December 7th, and they say your name is in Bolga polling station. You are in Accra here. 7 a.m. in the morning. You check, and they say, no, your name is in this absent register here, indicating that you have been transferred to Bolga to vote. Do you know what it means? They have displaced you.
Yeah, that's Dr. Tanko, you have explained that. We
so why should it be NDC who should be fighting for Ghanaians about it?
But we are asking that.
And we're asking our next line of action.
Yes, your next line of action. We want to know because it is.
That's why I'm saying that we are helping you. We are helping. I've given you a scenario why I'm helping you. So you should support me to put pressure on the Electoral Commission to do the right thing.
Your colleagues in the NPP, when they found discrepancies, they went through the processes and then it got to the court. Now, the court has directed that the EC should revert the names to their original constituencies. However, the NDC, we've not heard that you have gone to court. Maybe if you did go to court on some of these, or you exhausted all of the avenues under, as prescribed by the CI, maybe we would have made a headway further than we have now.
Dear, let me tell you. There are two types of transfers, illegal transfers and legal transfers. Do you get that? Legal transfers are there. Now, what you are referring to was a legally conducted transfers. It was not an illegal transfer. People appeared before the returning officer in Manshia South, indicating that they are now in Manshia South constituency and they want to transfer their votes. And they've transferred their votes per the CI 127. Now, when you get to this, the veracity of the matter, do you know that they are appealing against that, what they have done there? Under which law was the magistrate judge reversing the transfer? Under which law? Which law was he referring to? Which one? CI 91, and the exhibition has nothing to do with transfers. It has nothing to do with transfers. So you cannot be ruling about exhibition matter on 127. And secondly, in 127, the issue about transfers, if you look at it, there's a lacuna we are all trying to resolve, maybe in the next CI that they are going to develop. It has nothing to do with how to challenge transfers and all that. The CI hasn't done. Somebody has done a legally conducted transfer, and then another person shorostically ran into court behind the scene and got that they should reverse those transfers with a hearing of the people and all that, and cross-examining of the electoral officer who did the transfer. Of course, the forms and other things are there. This is a matter that is going to be taken up by the legal team of those people. It hasn't gone yet. What we are referring to is not about the legal transfers. We are talking of illegality, which the Electoral Commission has accepted that yes, it was illegal for that officer to have accepted a voter ID card, take the picture of the ID card to transfer the people without their knowledge. You are telling me I should go to court to do what with it? To tell the court that even the Electoral Commission accepted that it's an illegal thing they have done. And they even interdicted their officer. As you want me to go to court to tell the Electoral Commission that you have added 243,000 old transfers of 2023 into the current 2024 register, and you have accepted it and told me that it was a deliberate thing that you did just for us to track history of transfers. Who told you we are interested in tracking history of transfers? Then go and start from 1992.
Indeed, is not.
Is that our interest? So this one, why are you telling me I should go to court to do what with the court? This one is somebody contact.
Well,
we have money to, and the person has agreed.
We will come back and then discuss this when indeed you get to the river that you have been talking about all of this while. But before we let you go, the president has given various addresses at the UN General Assembly since he became president in 2017. Yesterday, he gave his last address. Before you go, what will you make of all of the addresses the president has given? And has he represented Ghana in the best of light at the UN?
I would describe it as a pact of lies and half-truths that he was just churning out at the UN there.
All of the addresses he's given?
Oh, that's why I say I would describe it as pact of lies and half-truths. He mentioned one district, one factory. Do you have one district, one factory in Ghana? Is that what we have in Ghana? When he was touting it over there, do we have it? You are there, you are the media people. If I'm lying, tell me that I'm lying. Do you have one district, one factory in Ghana? This one is a complete lie. And he was telling in front of all these dignitaries over there to clap for him. There's nothing like that in Ghana. He was talking of Agenda 111. Have they even completed one hospital in Ghana? Do you have it? Among their Agenda 111, he was touting and asking them that they are engaged in one of the grandiose type of hospital facilities that have never happened in this country before.
You seem to be on just one address. I'm asking.
I'm saying that the address yesterday.
No, and I'm asking you to, Dr. Tanko, since he became president, from 2017 up until now, he's given a series of addresses to the UN General Assembly. So I'm asking you, in totality, not just yesterday as one study, in totality, as the president who has represented us at the UN General Assembly, how would you describe all of the addresses he has given in the name of Ghana?
Yeah, it has been one half story to the other.
Okay.
He continues to repeat his stories every day. Anytime he appears there, he will come and give them the same story. This free SHS thing.
Dr. Tanko,
all his hunger.
Dr. Tanko,
he has been repeating it.
We've spoken about free SHS, so I just wanted to know what you thought. I just wanted to know what you thought, and you've given us.
My thought is that it's a complete waste of years under this administration. Complete waste of 7 years and a half. Now we are getting to the 8th year.
Thank you, Dr. Tanko.
The 8 years has been complete waste. Thank God we have gotten number 8 to just push them out so that they will go away with their number 8
Thank you.
issues.
Thank you for speaking with us this morning, Dr. Tanko.
I'm grateful.
Dr. Rashid Tanko is the Deputy Director for Elections and IT at the NDC. That is all for our main discussion for today. Politics Today is up next. Stay with us.
Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH_. Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH_. Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH_. Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details,
is politics today. In politics today, we are looking at who becomes the third force in the 2024 general elections. Let's see if the Liberal Party of Ghana, popularly known as LPG, can make a case for themselves. Joining us is the flag bearer for the Liberal Party of Ghana, Percival Kofi Akpaloo, and he joins us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, madam.
Thank you for joining us on ABC in the morning.
It's a pleasure.
With barely 3 months into the general elections, is the Liberal Party of Ghana poised to win these elections?
Oh, this election is a done deal. We will win the elections. No matter what, we will win the elections.
On what statistics are you using to say that you will win the election and that it is a done deal?
Oh, we are basing our everything on the help of the Holy Spirit, because we know this work is not going to be done by only the physical. Apart from the physical, there should be a spiritual aspect. And there's no power under the sun that is bigger than the Holy Spirit. So we believe that the Holy Spirit will assist us and will guide us and will direct us to reach the optimum.
So come January 7, we should be expecting that we'll be swearing in Kofi Akpaloo and his Liberal Party of Ghana as the next government.
Exactly so. Exactly so.
Well, let's look at Ghana's economic situation. We do not have a very stable economic situation as it stands.
Yes, sir.
As the LPG, what are some of your solutions to the economic situations we are facing as a country, especially the unemployment situation of it?
Yeah, that's more reason why a PG government is going to set up what you call job fund. And then the purpose of the job fund is to give the young people the opportunity to go into business on their own. So we give them loans to kickstart their own businesses, to bring their vision into fruition. We are going to introduce child benefits and unemployment benefits. So every kid below 18 years will receive 500 cedis every month as child benefit. And then those who are 18 and above, who are unemployed, will receive unemployment benefits.
Okay, job fund, unemployment benefits, child benefits. But we have not seen your manifesto. No manifesto from the LPG. When should we expect to see a manifesto?
Oh, you can quickly download it from our website, liberalpartyofghana.org.
There will be no launch for it?
liberalpartyofghana.org. You can download it.
Mr.
From there. We launched it last Saturday at Ho. So it's unfortunate that you were not invited to be there, but we launched it this Saturday at Ho last Saturday, and you can get a copy from our website now.
Mr. Akpaloo, there have been some allegations that during the balloting last Friday, you picked number one. However, you swapped it with the NPP so that NPP could have the number one spot on the ballot paper. What do you say to these allegations?
It's not true. Only those with small minds will think that way. It's never true and it can never happen. I got 5 on the ballot, and that's the number that I got. So if anybody sits somewhere and thinks that I got number one and I gave it to somebody, that person might be having some Gary soak in his head, so he's not able to think properly. It can never happen. I'm not Esau who will swap his leadership to somebody.
Well, now you are number 5 on the ballot paper. Persons have attached various thinking and sentiments and various meanings to the numbers that they picked for the elections. Is the Liberal Party of Ghana attaching any sentiments to the number 5 spots on the ballot?
You know, that number is unique number, And it's a magic number, it's a lucky number, it's a number to break the MPP and DC duopoly. That very day, those who stake lotto that evening, Friday evening, those who stake that lotto won with single 5, single 2, because our candidates who are contesting on our party ticket as parliamentary candidates, they were all going to be on number 2 on the ballot, and all of them. So many people decided that so far as I've gotten 5, and they are our parliamentary candidates are also going to be number 2 on the ballot, decided to stake a lotto that evening, and they all won. That number is a unique number. If you look at our logo, it's a star. The star has 5 edges, and you can see that it means a lot to us. So please, God has ordained me as president of Ghana, and I'm going to be president of Ghana coming 7 January 2025. And when I become president, everybody will be happy.
When you become president, everybody will be happy. But there is an issue of galamsey in this country. As president, and in making sure that we will be happy, how will you be addressing the galamsey menace that the country is grappling with?
You know, it's a very difficult problem, but the solution is very simple, and we have the solution. What we'll do is that we are going to bring all the young people who are into galamsey together to form a company owned by them. So collectively, they will invest their money in that company to own shares in that company, so that they will do, so that it become a large-scale mining company, like the status of Newmont or Anglo Gold or Guildford. So that's the kind of company we are going to form, and then allow these young men and women to buy shares in that company with everything that they have at the moment. They are going to invest their money. Currently, we have over 3 million people who are into galamsey. So if you are able to bring them together and collectively they are able to invest, let's say, 1,000 cities, it's 3 billion cities. And we believe that 3 billion cities can kickstart the production of gold in Ghana, owned by Ghanaians, as one of the largest mining company here. This is the way forward. So far as your money is working for you, you can now stay home and you'll be collecting your dividends as returns are shared. So that is the way that we are going to do it. And even if you are holding a share in a company, you can decide to trade the share on the stock market. This is the way forward. We want our people to continue to mine, but they're going to mine responsibly.
Mr. Palu, sorry. In the 2020 elections, you didn't win any parliamentary seats, but you are very sure that you're going to win the 2024 elections.
Yeah, 2020 was a different election compared to this, so they are not the same.
But what has changed
all starting,
in the last 4 years?
Because we are all starting from zero. Nobody has a single vote. Or do you think somebody has a vote now? So we are yet to start, and then as the vote comes, then we will decide who is going to win. So, but I'm sure I'm going to win the election, and that one, there's no doubt about that. I'll win the election.
No doubt. What is it you have done that you are saying no doubt about that?
I wanted to go and just check the video of our Saturday lunch when we launch our manifesto, and then you come back to us. When you check, and then you see how it was done, and then the number of people who trooped in there that very day in the voter region, then that should give you a hint of what we have done behind the scene.
Mr. Palu, your party is one party that has your flyers everywhere in the country, even beyond the elections. However, not a lot of people are able to identify who is the leader of the party. What are you going to do to remedy this situation when we have just a few months to the elections?
Yeah, that is the work of the Holy Spirit. You will speak to them in their dreams. You will speak to them in many ways. So that is the work of the Holy Spirit. It's not my work. My work is to make myself available, like you just said, that you have our posters all over the country, and the Holy Spirit will do the rest of the work.
And that is enough for you, Mr. Palu.
Oh yes. You see, don't discount the fact that it's the Holy Spirit that decides who to be king or who to be president of a country. You can do whatever you want, but at the end of the day, it's God who will decide. So I'm 100% convinced that going forward, everybody will come to that realization that I'm the next president of Ghana. I'll win the elections. As to how I win it, I myself, I don't even know, but I know I'll win.
Yourself, you do not know, but you know you win. But that is not a strategy to go into an election with, Mr. Palu.
But I'm not relying on my own strength. I'm relying on the power of the Holy Spirit to do it.
Well, thank you for speaking with us this morning on ABC in the Morning, Mr. Palu.
Yeah, God bless you for speaking to me.
Percival Kofi Palu is the flag bearer for the Liberal Party of Ghana, and he says that with the help of the Holy Spirit, his party is going to win the presidential elections come December 7. And on January 7, he will be sworn in as president because he would have won the elections. Let's take a break. We will be back. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Let's get into Happy Hour. The TGMA Artist of the Year, Stonebwoy, has released a new song called Jejereje. I've seen it all over and people are dancing to it. We want you to dance to Jejereje. So that's what we bring to you on Happy Hour today. Also, that's Jejereje by Stonebwoy. He released it a couple of days back and is making the airwaves. People are dancing to it, videos all over. This is all for Happy Hour today. To be featured on Happy Hour, you should send us a message on WhatsApp 0509930360. And this is all we bring to you on ABC in the morning today. But before we go, you should visit our website at abcnewsgh.com. Our website abcnewsgh.com for all of the news in a very timely manner, credible news, breaking it as it breaks. And also interact with us on social media at ABC News GH, at ABC News GH _ at ABC News GH _. We started with a quote and we will end with a quote. Kofi Annan said that knowledge is power, information is liberating, education is the premise of progress in every society and every family. So walk with this as you go through the day and know that knowledge is power, information is liberating. Continue to cram up all the knowledge you can in your head so that you are not someone who is empty. Also have all of the information you need so that nobody shortchanges you. Nobody shortchanges you at all. Do well to gain knowledge and also have information is necessary for your growth and your development. We thank you so much for joining us on ABC in the morning. Thank you to the production team for a great production today. And thank you to all of our guests who graciously joined us for our conversations. We come to you same time tomorrow. Have a great day. I am Abna Mante.